A handful of giant corporations control Britain's TV channels, news outlets, radio stations, search engines, and social media platforms. But a growing independent media movement is challenging this. Our correspondent in London, Pablo Navarrete, reports.
Journalists, academics and activists from Britain's growing independent media movement recently met in London to debate issues from racism in the media to alternative models of funding, ownership and control. While Britain's media landscape is dominated by corporations and outlets with a right-wing agenda, new media voices are increasing in numbers and influence.
The mainstream media is letting us down. We have a big ownership problem in regards to print. About 50% of the daily newspaper market share is the Daily Mail and the Sun. They're owned by tax dodgers who don't even live in Britain. Then you've got the Telegraph, that's owned by a pair of brothers, multi-millionaire brothers, who again don't pay tax. They don't live in the mainland of Britain. They live in an island, which is a tax haven. So in print we've got a problem because we've got a media for the 1%.
In broadcast, the BBC has the largest audience share, with around 32%. As a public service broadcaster, it is meant to be balanced in its coverage, but there is significant evidence to show that it too is biased towards the right on key issues. For example, the Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn has received very hostile coverage from the BBC, as well as other mainstream media.
With Corbyn is because they know that he's popular, that he's actually make young voters dream about changing the system. This is a really system with a lot of problems, a lot of undemocratic issues. The disability side of this in particular.
The alternative media movement exists as a response to this lack of democracy in media ownership and the right-wing bias in the mainstream media. Another important issue being debated by the movement is that of internet search engines and the need for non-corporate alternatives.
Google, for example, controls 90% of search in the world. And if that isn't a monopoly or near monopoly, then what is? That's a bigger monopoly than the mainstream media has ever had. And Google algorithms decide who will read what and how they will be paid.
The challenges faced by this new and growing movement to make a major impact on mainstream narratives are significant. Yet there appears to be an increasing desire here in Britain for new and independent media platforms, which both challenge the powerful and report on struggles and developments at the grassroots. Pablo Navarrete, TeleSur, London.
And with this last report, we come to the end of this news brief.